Hello! Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another Mina the Hollower Developer Stream. Ugh. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Great.
I'm doing fine.
So today we're going to do some level design. We're going to do some level design on a small area that I haven't really even started yet at all. So this will probably be more like brainstorming and layout focused than the nitty-gritty gameplay of some of these other level design streams, which should provide some interesting variety for y'all. Why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? My name is Alec. I am a game designer here at Yacht Club Games, and I'm the director of Mina the Hollower, this game that we're going to be looking at. I'm blonde now, yeah. But I'm the same person, I swear. We also got Bridget.
Yeah, hi. I'm a programmer for the game, and I'm just going to be hanging out and helping to answer questions in Discord.
We got Eli.
Hello.
And, yeah, maybe some more people will filter in. It might just be us, though. Everyone's pretty busy today. So, we'll get...
Sorry, I probably should have
nice
said
and
I'm a programmer and level designer on Mina. I should just say hello.
Just assuming everyone knows who you are already.
How do you not know the great and powerful Eli, who's been here for less than a year?
Okay. Well, let's just dive right in then. Okay. So, check it out. Here's kind of what's going on. We have this like big city that you're going to be going through as you play the game. You'll end up here a lot. It's called Ossex. There's all sorts of characters and there's shops and whatnot. Whoa, look at that guy. Whoa, look at this shop. And from here, you need to navigate to all of the different like core areas or levels in the game. And so we've been working on a lot of those, right? Y'all have probably like seen this area that leads to Queensbury Crypt, which looks like that. I'll speed it up a little bit. And so most of the focus and development has been on like, you know, these big meaty areas that are like the big focus of the game and the memorable stuff that you're going to be doing and the difficult challenges that lead to boss fights that allow you to, you know, progress and along the critical path and eventually like get to the final area. But we need something in between, right? You can't just leave the hub and then one screen later be in like a hard ass level. You got to have like the in between stuff. And so there's this like kind of more villagey area up here that I've been working on this week. But this is like getting pretty close to done. So rather than show off this stuff, I figured I would start the area that leads to it. So if we look over here, I've got this nice big open field for us to work with. Over on the left, this area over here, that's where the hub would be, just like we saw a moment ago. That's the size of it. These would be like the exterior walls of it, this like brown stuff over here. And then this over here leads to one of the first like areas or levels in the game. So it's like not too far. You don't gotta do much adventuring to get there. You go to the right like 1-2 screens or so, and then you can like go down and to the right and enter this way, or you can go like up and to the right and enter this way. This one's like the main entrance. This one feels like maybe a little bit more secret. It should probably be like a little harder to get into, a little more like dense up here. Could feel like I'm going down a secret path. And then if you go down here, this leads to a different area. And if you go up here, this will lead to like a whole different area as well. So from the hub, there's 3 areas on the right side of the hub. One's like to the north, one's like if you just keep going straight, and one's like to the south. this is like the easiest one, so that's why it's like easiest to get to, and if you leave, you're already like pointing in the direction to get there. So the player, if they aren't navigating at all and they're playing the game like a caveman, they're just gonna probably end up there first, which is ideal anyways. If you like explore a bit to the north, you'll get to this, but it'll be like a dead end because we really want you to only go to this area later. You'll have to loop around, but you could get like a sneak peek of it from the beginning. And this is like the frozen area. So maybe, do I have my frozen tiles in here? Let's add them. Frozen train yard. Yeah, so like maybe once you start getting up here, you're in like the icier, more snow-laden cliffs. And I'm thinking maybe it would make sense to have like water melting off the ice cliffs, and that's like what creates this river right here. Right now I'm like thinking just very broadly about this area before we even really get into like what's the gameplay and like, you know, what types of enemies are around here and all that stuff. And so most of the focus right now is just on like making sure the player will be able to navigate. We're trying to make this game such that you don't have a map at your disposal at all times, which I think makes sense for a game about exploration. If you give someone a map, then you're just telling them where everything is. And so that means it needs to be like easy and possible to navigate the world like without us relying on, you know, a cheat sheet or guidance for the player. Which means it needs to just be constructed in such a way that that is like not a taxing endeavor. And a great way to do that is to have like big landmarks. If there's a river passing through this whole like middle area, that means that from any of these screens, the player can see the river and think like, oh, I'm on the right side of the river. So if I wanted to get back to the hub, I know that's on the left side of the river, so I'll go this way, you know? And if like the hub is built on some like small cliff sides like this, maybe it's like elevated a bit, that means from any of these left screens, you could be like, oh, there's like the cliff sides that leads to the elevated hub. So like it must be to the left. And if I'm like down here, then same thing. You could like identify where you might be wanting to go based on these like big blocks, these bigger ideas that are thrown in here. Other stuff that's happened here so far, these yellow squares, these are each screens in the game, essentially. So like if we go over here to this first one, you'll notice the camera is locked to this screen. But if we go up to this one, this bigger screen, then it allows the camera to scroll. I think it's important that there's a variety of different screen types. You might, just like everything else, that's like another tool to allow the player to orient themselves really well. Because if everything's just a single screen, like in this game over here, then sometimes it can be a little difficult in order to tell like where the areas are, or like which screen is which, or even like, you know, I remember that screen and I remember it kind of being like to the east, but like beyond that I've like no idea where that was. And that's a feeling that we're trying to avoid. So yeah, it seems like there's like a good base here of like core ideas for these larger sections of like individual areas. So we've got like the cliffs. There should probably be like plenty of little cave entrances and like ins and outs. Maybe a couple there that you could be thinking about. That kind of thing's always fun. You've got this
Alec.
big... Yeah, go ahead.
Joe Dudit is asking if any Game Boy Zelda games have scrolling screens or if they're all like discrete.
Both of
set sizes.
the Oracle games have scrolling rooms. That was like their big innovation, I guess. So like not Subrosia, but and maybe not even in the Overworld. You go into like interiors in that game, and they like scroll around. But I find that in both Oracle games, that is not terribly successful because the screens are just kind of like bigger for no reason. And so maybe it'd be better if these games weren't like that. But we're trying to like use it to good effect. Is there a map? Are you trying to design the game so that that's not really necessary? We're trying to design it so you don't need a map, right? And that sounds crazy to people a lot of the times because, every Zelda game they give you a million maps. But, imagine playing a Dark Souls or something. It's like pretty intuitive where things are connected and how you navigate, but you don't spend any of your time playing those games, pausing the game and being like, oh, where am I? Where do I go? They added one with Elden Ring, but that's more of a necessity because that game's map is like 100 square miles large. Alright, let's start building some stuff. We've got the cliff area, we've got this river area. Maybe it'd be cool if when you first leave the hub and you go straight to the right, the water is like too big to cross. Can't make it. So right off the bat, we're like kind of getting it into your brain that like, oh, it's not quite so straightforward. I have to like figure out ways of moving around. But this is still like a pretty easy area. So how about like you go one screen up and then it's like, okay, I could cross there. Or you could go like one screen down and it's like, okay, I could cross there. Then gets the feeling we want, but without actually being too annoying. And then this bottom area needs an identity still. So maybe, yeah, we're doing like some of that classic, good, nice, open, foresty kind of stuff. It could be anchored around like a cliff area up here. That seems like it'd be fun. These should like link up, definitely. Something like that, maybe. And you can like have more limited ins and outs in order to navigate this area because we want it to be harder to go to the south than over to the right. So instead of just being like totally open, it could be more like there's only like a few ways to travel across. So you have to do more intentional navigation. Keep nice open areas like that. These like broader, more open, more overworldy areas have to have a different feel to them by necessity. When you're like in the hub, you're not like fighting guys. You're on cooldown from like adventuring and doing a bunch of difficult stuff. So it's mostly like doing side quests, buying things at the shops, talking to people. And then when you're in like one of those really hard, like, core areas, like this kind of stuff, then it's like the enemies will kick your butt, you're dying all the time, and it's like a time to put your skills to the test. But that means that like even though there needs to be combat and gameplay and having fun in the in-between, it like can't be too taxing or too difficult because we don't want you to like lose all your resources when you're like heading back from the boss to the hub to like spend your money, right? It shouldn't be like so difficult that you're actually like dying and like losing all of your bones. It seems not ideal. So it needs to like provide texture and still be like a drain on the player's health and their other resources, but it can't be that difficult. Or rather, it needs to be like open-ended enough that if you want to be careful and you want to survive and you want to just get back to the hub and like spend your stuff or like get to safety, it should be generally pretty easy and possible to do that. With that in mind, actually, let's pop open this thing. One of the things we've been doing lately is trying to figure out like what makes that kind of thing possible and how to like create that different feel. So here's like some guidelines that we wrote up that are trying to describe how to get that across, right? More open-ended routing focuses on letting the player wander around a little bit. More open-ended room design. It should generally feel breezier than core area content, since it serves as your warm-up and cooldown from a core area. So less like heavily designed specific setups that need to be approached only from one direction, and more like enemies that are patrolling or guarding a general area, more objects that are placed with like free fun in mind. Oh, there's some like boulders I can pick up and chuck at these guys, and less like there's 5 boulders in the way. You have to figure out how to like chuck all of them so you can progress, and that kind of thing. Maybe an emphasis on having wider screen transitions would help too, right? Usually in like one of these core areas, we like need you to enter the screen from like one spot, right? To ensure that you're like clearing it through some kind of routing that feels intentional. And so we tend to have like really narrow screen transitions. You can only like cross this barrier right here. You can only cross this barrier right here, etc., etc. So perhaps an emphasis on like nice, big, wide open spaces that allow you to explore a little bit more freely would be appropriate. So that's kind of all the stuff I'm thinking about when I'm trying to like figure out what type of feel or what type of stuff should like be in these areas. There's a big old preamble, but hopefully that should give context and insight as to like what kinds of things we're actually doing. Will you be gathering analytics data from users after the game launches? We usually don't do that kind of thing, but that would probably be smart. If not for like doing a post-game patch, we try to like make the game like good and done like when it comes out. If not for that, then just for like our own edification after the fact, so we have more knowledge to pull from. What were you gonna say, Bridget? Sorry.
I was just wondering which section you felt like working on first.
I want to start with this ravine thing. This seems like a fun and like memorable landmark over here, and I have a solid idea for it already, so why don't we go for that? So yeah, the snow-capped mountains are up here, and they're melting to create the twin waterfalls that lead to a delta that create the river. So let's start putting some stuff down. Let's make a little more room over there for like things that need to feel like significant to the player. It helps if there's like a good emphasis on staging. So that's why I'm making this all like a very pretty, like very like symmetrical little like area at the top. So you look at it and you think like, ooh, what are they doing there? What's that all about? So let's put that down. Not gonna
somebody named Hyas earlier was asking if you like adjust the layout of the map to a rhythm of horizontal and vertical scrolling areas, or if you first make the level design and then like cut out different scrolling areas, like which comes first, cameras or content.
Honestly, everyone kind of approaches this a little bit differently. I think, you know, we've been talking about this a lot lately as we try to like codify exactly what our level design process is. But I think the 3 important main things that the player and therefore the designer needs to be thinking about is like, what is the routing of the area, aka when the player is thinking, where am I going, right? The other big category is like, what is the theming of the area? That's when the player is thinking, where am I right now? Oh, I'm like at the river. Oh, I'm at like a little encampment of miners or whatever, right? And then there's also like the gameplay of the area. And all 3 of those ideas are necessary. And the gameplay idea would be like, it's a room where like spikes travel back and forth and you got to jump over them, or, you know, whatever the actual like nitty-gritty of it ends up being. So the place to start, it can really be any of those places. Sometimes there is just like a raw gameplay idea, and then you work backwards to figure out like, okay, what would like the theming be, or like what would best complement that kind of stuff. Sometimes you have like a theming idea. That's really what I'm doing here with all this Overworld stuff. just because, like I said, the land marking of all of it is like really significant. And sometimes it's like a routing thing, and you're like, I know that this area needs to have like 2 entrances and 1 exit, and so you like put those cameras down first. Right now I'm kind of doing all of it at the same time. I was thinking like, you know, when you first exit the hub, you probably want like one nice little single screen, but somewhere you want some like longer scrolling screens, so maybe there's a few towards the top. I feel like following a river is something maybe you would want to do while it scrolls, so it's like easier to like watch it flow, right, as opposed to just going like chunk by chunk. So we got some taller screens at the top. Maybe it'd be cool to have some more horizontal ones at the bottom. But now that I've put these like trees down, I'm starting to think like maybe this should be kind of like a more denser foresty kind of thing where it is more screen to screen. So maybe I'll like keep this general structure exactly how it is. But like over here, I feel like, no, because you need to come out there. Yeah, not a lot of room to make more big, long scrolling rooms. That's
Yeah,
okay.
there are also important limitations in terms of like putting different rooms of like different sizes next to each other. Because like going between like a long horizontal room and then like a one screen room doesn't scroll correctly unless you enter from like a specific like corner
Right.
of it, or else you get like weird camera movements.
For example, I'll show you real quick. Here's like this green tree room, right? Let's go there. Since this is a scrolling room and these aren't, there's no way to like move the camera in a way that is pleasant or natural. And so you'll see like when I cross over here, it has to go like so that it can like get to this mode. And when I go over here, it has to like it's like a little robotic and unnatural, and we kind of just like don't like that, and we're trying to avoid doing that wherever we can. Which means if you wanted to ensure that that can't happen, you would need to block off everything here. So that way when you are transitioning, it's only in like a spot where the camera is already anchored, so it can move smoothly like that. So this is like a single screen, but then when I come over here, it like can scroll, and there's nothing like jarring about it. And once again, we're at a single screen. So whenever we want to butt up long rooms and short rooms, this is like a limitation we have to be thinking about, blocking off the middle ground between them, essentially. Was that a good idea, what I just did? Hold on. Nah, this like, this general area around the entrance to the hub should remain like pretty open. It can't be like blocked off anywhere, because what we're telling the player, what we're signaling to them is like, hey, you can kind of like go wherever you want and have fun. Okay, so back to this ravine. This seems like it's pretty cool. Maybe it starts like kind of snowy. It should be like a gentle gradient, I suppose. Let me add my other tile sets in here.
Chad has devolved into talking about waterfalls and deltas. So that's where we're at.
Wonderful. Okay. So we don't want it to be like totally snowy quite yet. So maybe it's like there's little like pockets of snow, you know, that are being like dotted around. Maybe I do like this kind of thing a little bit. Nah, it looks weird. But they could be like being created into like more thin shapes, maybe. When you travel up here, this should feel like dangerous and like hostile. You're like not supposed to go up here first, but we're not going to stop you. So, how can we get that feeling across? Maybe this is like kind of like winding, and there's like guys up above looking down at you, all scary. That might be cool. Like they're watching over it and being like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing in our difficult combat zone? Start dragging some shapes out. There's like a little outcropping. Guess we need a camera. Makes sense, I think, to follow this like long room thing. Keep going into another like long room. You can think like, oh, right, it was near those like long rooms over there. That's where that was, near the long rooms. Let's get a little bit of variation in there. That could like come out that way. Keep going over there. Maybe this is like more snowy towards the top, and you're still in like the warmer area near the grass. You know, I've seen a lot of game designers do this kind of thing and just like map it all out ahead of time in some kind of like beautiful mind matrix. I wonder if that would be smart or stupid to do. Sometimes you want the ideas to pop up organically. Alright, so going through like a scary little ravine. Let's like make this twist a little bit more. Put all that up there. And snow doesn't just go immediately to water, so let's have like a nice little in-between up here. Little pond for you.
Ooh, this is a pretty relevant question. Will there be any levels that have story-like dialogue stops, like an RPG, or will all levels just be core gameplay until small bits of dialogue after? I feel like we've been talking about that a lot.
Yeah, or the way it's kind of shaken out right now is that there is dialogue, there are characters in those areas, and there are stories that are being told, but it's more like a Resident Evil or a Dark Souls, and that you, well, not quite a Dark Souls, it's like pretty obscured in Dark Souls, but more like a Resident Evil, where like by reading things on the ground or notes or journals, or by going in little secrets and talking to characters, you can like put the story together. But if you're somebody who's like, hey, I thought that game was fun, I want to play through it this Saturday again, I'm going to like speedrun through it, then we just let you do that, and you don't have to watch a 2-minute cutscene where somebody says, welcome to our village, it's under attack, Mina, you gotta help us. We gotta fix the windmill so you can like go over to the dungeon. We're like not doing that kind of thing. There'll be like, you know, some in between. You gotta do like something to get to the area. You don't just walk in there, but you don't talk to a bunch of goobs either. This is like too much snow. How could this actually work?
I feel like it's got to transition from grass to something else and then to snow.
Yeah. Maybe it's kind of like this being still a river up here though, but it could be less emphasized. And then it should probably like go to another layer that's like more snowy up there. And we're saying this is an area that the player can go to, but like they're not going to be able to get back from there at the beginning. So how is that moment going to like land for the player? Let's say you did go here early, right? What do you think when you go up here? You're going to like see a dead end, and you're going to be like a little disappointed probably. You're like, oh man. So it'd be
Is
good.
it like a rope, like a one-way rope kind of thing? Like
Yeah.
what kind of dead end?
Yeah, I think so.
Gotcha.
And so if that's the case, you want to give them something. You want to throw them a bone, so to speak. You don't want the player to be bummed. You don't want them to be too bummed. So with that in mind, maybe you could go around, like even though this is blocked off. This should be like a big like a big impactful screen. You see it and you're like, oh man, the big cliff. I want to go up there, but I can't. Ugh. So this is gonna be like staged really prominently. Just like real basic, like boom, it's in your way, deal with it. And you like enter from over there. But how about like once you do get to this dead end, you can still have like a little fun in that you could like maybe
Oh.
you could like go up here.
Yeah, Alec, it looks like your Discord, I think, on stream might be frozen. Is it?
Is it? Oh. No, it doesn't look like it. Or I just fixed it by clicking on it.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's all good. Yeah, and then like this should probably like lead into it a little bit. You're like, ooh, am I going into a snowy area? And it's like, yep, you are.
Might be cool if we like have some of the frozen train yard enemies in here as well. It's like, ooh, this is like a cool new area, like a little taste.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever our like easiest one is could be like peppered through the ravine. Is ravine the right word? It's like the two tall cliffs and then like a ravine in the middle.
Yeah. Or like a canyon. Yeah.
This is feeling a little too linear on the way up though. So I'm thinking like let's like give you a little more room to breathe. Maybe like one more tile on the right also. And let's have like another path open up somewhere. Maybe it could just be like that.
Like stairs up to the top or
yeah, how about that? So there's like two tiles of inaccessible on the sides. And this could like link back in on itself, maybe. That might be neat. A little bit of a choice to make, but not much. It's not really feeling like a ravine anymore, is it though? It's no good. Maybe like this part is still like that. And then it like opens up to there. And then up here is like where it could split. Maybe, or just like slightly open up. How about that? And so this is like a tall like cliff. It's like coming in diagonally. And you go up, and there's like a little bit of a open space here. And you keep going up. And then you see your dead end. You feel bummed for 1 second. And then you're like, well, at least I could go this way now. And I go down here. And then I'm like up on this area that I couldn't get to before. And then if you're doing that, you're going to want to like use this to get somewhere. So maybe there's like a ledge here you can jump down to. And then from there you can like get up here. Ooh. Alright, this seems like a solid basic route. So I'm exploring the overworld. It's like heavily guiding me towards there. It's slightly less guiding me towards like, you know, going around here to that harder level. And then it's like really not guiding me to go to the hardest one because it's through this like tiny little crevice. And then once you're there, you go over here, you go over here. There needs to be pressure coming from somewhere as you're coming here. So how about like let's put some birds up here. They're gonna be like looking down at you.
I feel like if we had, I know you keep talking about like projectile enemies. I feel like it could be fun to have a projectile enemy up there that's like throwing things at you.
Totally, yeah. Let's move that up a little bit. So I'm like traveling through here, and these birds are like looking down at me, like at the beginning of Splash Mountain at Disneyland, or at the end of it before you go to like the. You guys know what I'm talking about? There's those vultures.
Wait, say again.
At Splash Mountain, there's those vultures like looking down at you, being like, "You will."
That sounds familiar.
You will reach a bad fate, won't you now? Ho, 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 ho.
Would this be a place to put level 2 Bone Bird? It's like, oh, you're in a hard area now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's make all these guys level 2. And this is not quite gonna be perfect, but let's boot it up and just see if it's like getting us the general vibe we're hoping for. That's enough putting down tiles. Let's go to the game. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so there's the mouth of the ravine. I'm like, ooh, a little path up here. And then there's these birds. They're like looking down at me. Ooh. Give you guys a little peek of some gameplay. Fighting some birds. Oh, I haven't even got hit once yet. Oh,
Yeah, so
there it goes.
we've got like normal bone bird, but then as you progress, we've also got level 2 bone bird. So there's like a few different enemies where we're gonna introduce like a level 2. Like, ooh, now that you're in this zone, like they get a little harder. Like I know there's like level 2 Cooper, level 2 bone bird.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I see the vibe. Makes sense. Let's do some more like tall screens here. This doesn't feel like a imposing brick wall stopping me though, because it's too short. It needs to be like, whoa, look at that big icy cliff. It's so big. There's like a few spots. Yeah, now that's a little more scary looking. I want you to be able to like see even more of it though. So if we like carve out a little bit of space right here that the player can walk into, that would allow you to scroll the camera up even further. So you really get the sense of the scale of it. Because now I can be like, whoa, it keeps going. Wow, it's so tall. Oh my god. Alright, let's put some of that in here. Put the ground tiles there. Let's try and start to like justify how this all connects. That would be like that, maybe. This goes like straight into there. Ba 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 ba. I haven't worked with this tile set yet because we haven't done the icy zone, so I'm not quite sure how to put it together.
Oh, they kind of remind me of some of those Bone Beach tiles right now.
How come? Because there's like this like
All the
wavy sand
wiggly
pattern?
pink, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, that frozen tree is great.
Put some walls down there. Let's make something like that maybe. It loops around. And this is that height, which needs to be one more. And then that goes to there. That's that. And that is that. So that's like the height of the mountain. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. Forgive me, by the way, if I'm just muttering to myself. That's how I work, apparently. And this can like come down by 2 tiles. Okay. And this should transition more organically into this like rocky area. It's too like green up here. Let's use some like what do we got?
We could maybe add some of that dead grass, like to replace the normal tall grass.
Dead grass, like it's yellow?
Yeah, like the yellow one that we're using in September. Maybe that's not the right vibe.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably just make like bluegrass. The color, not the musical genre. I feel like I could just maybe use this like darker interior cave stuff. Just put on a exterior. It's still like pretty green though. It's like not really the vibe. Whatever. It's good enough for now. That goes up there. It could be like a double decker. Okay, let's focus on this like beginning part of it. It seems like that's maybe the most important right now. So it starts narrow. Maybe we have like one too many tiles of it being narrow. And then you want to see two guys like perched up, one on each side. And we'll have them like, actually no, keep this down here. That way they can be framed very deliberately. This should feel like it's getting a little more scarier. Maybe it's like stuff's more dead up here. So I'm going to put some like chopped down tree stumps. We got these like pink tiles. Maybe I just use this for now, so it feels like more craggly. I like the idea of this motif continuing. And I guess both of these need some kind of inlet for water. But kind of don't want the water to actually be traveling like all the way up. It's going to be too much water. I don't want you to like have to be thinking about water on this whole thing. So let's put like a little bit of a outcropping right there, and that's like where the water can be coming from. It's like up there, going off screen. Boom, solved. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I do love stream and level design for y'all, but the one bummer is it means I can't listen to music while I work. That takes some getting used to. Just gotta hear the sound of my annoying voice.
You can listen to music as long as it's
as long as no one else could hear
free.
it. I'm gonna hum it, and my perfect pitch will.
You could totally listen to music
copyright
if you
flag
want.
it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's too late. Maybe next time. Okay, we're like up on the Cragley area. It's 2 tall here, and it's like, 5 tall here, and we're getting to more 5 talls up there. I like the idea of another like long waterfall, so that can like this could like extend the whole way, because I'm not gonna have the player go over here anyways. And you know what? Screw it. I could just honestly be connected all the way up. It's looking pretty cool. That goes up. That doesn't really resolve cleanly. It's close enough though. Is that what that tile's for? No. That one? No. I don't know. Ugh. I'm gonna get some water real quick. See if there's any good questions in there.
Yo.
Got any good questions?
No, people are mostly talking about music.
Sandy
And I
says you
guess,
should play some
sorry,
Mina tunes in the background. We only have like 10. We don't have enough to like loop it without it being annoying yet.
Joe Dudit earlier asked, how firm is Mina's story at the moment? Are you able to change the story with new cutscenes and stuff if you think it'll convey like a new level mechanic that we've made?
So there's like two elements to the story, I would say. One of them is like the overarching story, to which we have like a pretty good general idea. We know the main beats and like what happens and how the story ends. But then, you know, as you go to like different zones, there's smaller stories to be told, and those are like kind of getting made as we go through all the areas as we work on them. So a little bit of both. There's always room for it to all move around a little bit, though.
Ooh, that like pink crackly dirt tile is good. That's cool. It's like a tan, the tan one.
Oh, this one. I keep using this a lot. It's just like I need a generic ground.
Alec, are you hyped for Tears of the Kingdom?
Sure, yeah. I'll be honest, guys. I've already been playing it. But I know everyone's on spoiler watch, so I won't say anything. How can this be like... Maybe our waterfall is just too wide at the mouth for its own good. Maybe you could jump down like there. This like crosses there. Maybe. It's in Crypt Playfield 1. Is this how I'm supposed to use these, Sandy? Is this right? Is this how the water works? Like that?
Those look great.
Something about it looks weird. Maybe that's like... yeah, something like that.
What's up, Sandy?
I'm trying to balance the audio from the stream that's delayed from the audio in here. So if you ask me a question, I'm like, wait, you probably already answered it.
Well, Alec's sharing his screen. Just watch his screen share.
I am, but it's still on a delay.
Sure. But
so as far as the edges of the water tiles, generally I use those only if there's deep water touching a shoreline or if it's shallow water.
Yeah.
It being shallow.
I think maybe it's better if it's like one constant size, and then I'll use I'll do this or something.
Yeah.
Make a nice little...
That's deep water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a little artificial barrier down to like lock it in, so it feels kind of man-made.
You gotta flip those though.
What are you talking about? That's fine. Like that?
So yeah, that's better. So it doesn't look like collision.
Like that?
Like, see the ones on the bottom that you just added?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like angled down toward the water, so it looks like the land is on a slight rise. Yeah, that's better. I mean, these tiles have never been used anyway, but that's how they're intended to be used.
And then what are my corners? Like that?
You probably don't have corners.
Bro!
Just leave it.
You're not using the tiles right. By the way, you can't use the tiles right.
These have never been used. They've never been tested.
I'm using them right now, putting them to work. All right, well that's looking like good enough. So yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit of that going on. Seems fun. This should be like more of that. I guess I don't like this tree stump. They should just be like watching intently up from above. You don't want them to aggro too quickly. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles of space. But I do want them to like be on screen. Let's see the spacing. I feel like they need one more tile. Just a little bit further up. This one can just come that way. Boop, 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 boop. Put some of that down. Is it that? Is it that tile? Whatever. Okay. This is like not conducive for gameplay though. If we're saying you're gonna have to be able to like go back on that area. So maybe this is like one tile strip and you go like there to there. And then you jump here. You can't jump here. Seems too cramped for like what I'm trying to do. Whatever, we'll get to that part later. So you're going up the ravine curves.
Hey, just a
It's
heads
little
up,
wider.
it's 1 p.m.
Already been an hour? Oh my gosh.
Already been an hour.
Time flies when you're having fun doing level design.
You gonna show off any of the new critters?
Yeah, we should use some of them in this area.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, Ian gave me feedback on like the furry walker guy, the like single axis walker.
Mhm.
And I think it's too interesting. I did it on accident. I didn't mean to. I have to uninteresting it.
Gotta make it as boring as possible. Whoa.
That's cool.
Cool area.
This one's starting too fast. He's gotta like come in later. Like what do we actually expect the player to do? These guys like come at you too quickly. How much space we got? So once I get
We
here,
expect the player to die. That's what we expect.
no.
If you're trying to get to the frozen train yard this early in the game, you gotta die.
I expect the player to have a good, measured, fun time. That's all I ever want.
Wow. Where's your sense of challenge?
Oops.
Hey Sandy, Shadowhog is asking whether we do a final art pass on the level till we're sure that the encounter is blocked out exactly how we want. That sounds right to me.
Yep. Yeah, usually there are two major passes that happen in the tile set. The first one happens before level design touches the area, so I'll do a pass using references of like visual design and aesthetic that we've all decided upon. So like for the frozen train yard, we had a lot of like frozen waste references and derelict trains and crashed trains and stuff like that. So I did a pass just making pieces that I felt we could potentially use, and a lot of that comes in the form of duplicating a previous tile set that we know works and then kind of painting over it. Right, like what Alec is showing now, those are a lot of the references that the initial pass was made from. And I knew that we needed things like trees and basic wall tiles, ground tile types, so we can add variation in the terrain. And then from there, I pass that to level design. They'll actually put together a zone like what Alec is doing now. And then that sets a precedent for what the landscape is actually supposed to represent in like a like space wise, like spatially, like this is a ravine, this is a canyon, etc. So from there I can polish the tile set, add new custom pieces that might help enhance the visual flavor of a screen, or realize that something that we're using isn't working in the way that it needs to, so I'll modify it, things like that. So it's usually 2 passes.
And no more.
Yeah, ideally.
Another thing they got to think about when putting all this stuff together, speaking of limitations, is like you can't have the collision be butted up against the screen transition. Because even though I can pass through over here, right, and that all works, it's like frustrating and bizarre that I wouldn't be able to go up right here.
Yeah.
And so you got to do this, and then you got to do that, and then you got to do that, so that it's on both screens. When you really get down to it, that limitation is kind of nuts, because it means that like your bottom edge of the screen, probably a wall. Your top edge of the screen, probably a wall.
So you're limited even more.
So that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles of space to do anything in the whole game. And that ain't a lot of space, Sometimes you're putting things down and you're like, well, how about a fork? You got to go left and right. And it's like, well, it's kind of the only shape it can take. And then we'll like curve you back in. Okay. So coming up with like unique layouts is
I mean, in a way,
fun
those
challenge.
restrictions are somewhat analogous to the restrictions we have in our tile sets, right? Where like we only have 4 colors, so we've got to get really creative.
Yeah.
But you guys managed to make some really fun and interesting gameplay setups despite those limitations.
Aw. Okay. Seems like it'd be fun to like get somewhere up here that you couldn't normally. Feel like this whole hub area, like the exterior wall can't just be this like big flat line. That's gonna feel a little frustrating. Because if you like are at one of these places, like let's say you're like on this screen and you just like want to get into the hub, you're like, ugh, I hate that I have to go around to the entrance or whatever, right? But I think psychologically it's like a little bit better if it's like raised up, as if the city was built to be like kind of protected from these like more wild areas, and it like justifies why you can't get up there a little bit more. So let's like put it up on a cliff basically. I think that'll like help things. And we don't gotta worry too much about the shape of it. It makes sense if there's like areas where it juts out, maybe that actually do connect. So maybe like...
Bye, Sandy.
Sandy leaving?
Sandy disappeared.
Is everyone in the office right now?
No.
Well, okay.
I'm here. Eli's here.
Hello.
Probably not gonna come
My
in today.
plants are here. They count.
My streak is gonna be broken if I don't come in today. But I'm gonna be doing this for another hour or so. Then I need to finish up the other crypt overworld part I was working on. I like really need to finish that today so we can look at it as a group. Okay, so let's say this is like a 2-layer. Makes it a little bit more like, seems like you can't get up there. And then I like how this curves around. We'll keep maintaining that. And I like the idea of having some cliffside caves you can access. That seems cool. This like shape could continue. It's like that and that. Alright, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I got a question from Joe Dudit. Will Mina have analog movement where you can like walk slowly by pushing the analog stick like a little bit?
You won't be able to do that, no. Because that like changes the gameplay. We design everything around the fact that it is a essentially cardinal input, right? So like going slower by creeping along by barely pressing the stick is like not what we want you to do. If you need to like let's say inch out over something and be like, oh, am I gonna fall in? There's like other tools that we give you to do that. When you're like near it, it lights up like this and you move a little slower, so that way it saves you. And also if you're like trying to inch out, you have like a little bit of acceleration in your movement, so you can like just tap the button to inch forward if like that's what you wanted to be doing. But otherwise we want you to be like moving at full speed, because that's like the speed that enemies are like designed around going to, so they can keep up with you and everything. And a lot of the times when people are moving that stick around, they're not holding it all the way. They're holding it like 90% of the way or 80% of the way. And I don't see a benefit to letting the player unintentionally go less fast. So like, may as well just not have that. We're actually thinking, this is like kind of a big deal, at least for us. We're thinking like maybe the analog stick for the whole game will be disabled by default. So you boot up the game and the analog stick doesn't work, and you have to go into the options to like enable analog stick, because if I'm being honest, this game controls way better with the D-pad. Way better, like even more so than Shovel Knight. It's like really important, I think, that you play with the D-pad, because the direction I'm facing, up, down, left, right, is like really important, because I'm gonna hit the button to commit to an attack in that direction. So when you're like sliding a stick around all smoothly and it's not as clear like which direction am I facing, then players like they hurt their ability to play the game. And when we've taken it to PAX, I've seen that firsthand, and it's been like proven, and I took notes to get statistics that prove my point. Players that like were having trouble aiming in the right direction almost universally were using the analog stick, and people that were like attacking intentionally where they want to go were using the D-pad. Okay, so we got these cliffs. If I go up here and I go back down the lame way, then I get to like hop out over here and access some stuff that I couldn't previously. We'll make it like a little enticing by putting like a cliff up there that maybe you want to get into. That goes there. You're like, ooh, what's in there? We've got all these like locks and keys in the game. So maybe this is locked off. Where's the locked door? Where's the locked door? There it is. That seems cool. From here you could jump down. Kind of like the idea of like doing this stuff over here. This is like a little grassy field. Screen directly adjacent to the hub, like the next one. Should have like a pretty easy going vibe, I think. Zelda games, they often they have this moment that everyone knows. You're like going through the grass, right? But then like, oh, there's a oh, there's a secret. Like, there's a secret hole in the grass. You can, like, dive down there and go somewhere. So maybe that's, like, one of the first things you do in the overworld. You come up here and you're like, ooh, a secret cave hidden in the ground. That's a classic moment. Everyone will love that. Let's do some of this. Get some more elevation in there. Okay. What are you thinking, like, when you directly leave here? I'm, like, in the hub. There's all these guys milling about. And it's like, this way to fun gameplay. Here we go. And then you want something that's going to imply a path. I think that's important. Like, guiding you this way. So maybe, like, this is all kind of more grassy. And then where are those lampposts? But we're like, you know, we're signaling to the player if they're trying to locate the hub, like, hey, this is like towards civilization. Civilization this way. So maybe on adjacent screens there's like some lights and stuff guiding you, but like then they kind of taper off as you go more into the wilderness. It seems cool. This 2-tile space seems like maybe not enough space to like do anything. Should be like more or less constrained. Maybe that's fine. And then these could be like up there. And there's like a staircase leading up. And you're kind of let loose going south. Seems cool. I want this area you're on to feel more raised, I think. So like finding the entrance to the hub feels like a bigger moment.
Yeah, like I think your Discord's frozen again.
It's probably just like the window going to sleep.
Yeah.
know?
That's probably what the other plugin. I bet the other plugin just doesn't let it.
If there's one thing about these streams you can get used to, it's the fact that the Discord chat overlay is never going to work perfectly.
Yeah.
Alright, this needs to be like taller, but this is like a piece of elevation too, so maybe it like crawls out like that. Yeah, that makes sense. And that goes like over here. This is like an awkward thing, though. Gotta figure out what to do with that space. So coming up, ooh, the hub must be this way. Yes, there it is, of course. This like needs to be staged even way more prominently, I think. Maybe like just a bunch of these leading forward. I don't need these. That out of there. How do I make this entrance look like important? It doesn't feel important. Perhaps if it funnels
Could
you
have
more.
yeah, could have more lampposts. Could have don't we have like a big sign or like an entryway? We have like gates too.
Going under a big gate is always like, that feels like it's an important, impactful piece of environment. But I don't think I got one of those. What do I got? Yeah, this has to be the entrance hole. It's like kind of small. But if this like curves out more, it can like funnel you a little bit more. Shouldn't be like too much though. It's like a nice big piece of art I can stick on the side of this. I'm not really seeing anything that would actually work for this. The horizontal entryway is like hard to stage in this perspective. Just use like, I don't know.
Some folks are pitching out ideas like you could put columns or stairs or guards or an archway or icicles.
Those are all really good ideas, guys. That sounded facetious, but I actually.
Oh, Reg Yacht is asking if we have a train sign. I think we do. We're probably using it over at the train station.
Yeah, I guess that's one part of this that's not really figured out. Because if the train station's here, then that would actually be here. So something's gotta happen with that. Oh well, I can't think about everything all the time. Gotta take it one thing at a time. I'm liking the general layout of this though. It's seeming pretty solid. I like that this is like a raised little area. I think maybe this just needs to like go further up. And then if you keep going to the side, you need like a nice big moment where you're like stepping off of the safety of civilization and like into the dangers that lie ahead. So I'll start with just like a staircase there. Which screen should it be on though? Should it be on this one or this one? It's gotta be on this one. It's just like too underwhelming, I think, otherwise. Let's center it up a little bit.
Folks are asking for the train if you'll be able to get on the train.
That's the idea.
Woohoo! How many rooms do you think it would be, though? Like 3? Or like 20? How long is this train?
Probably like 5 train cars you go between, maybe. Like you're on the tube going through those slidey doors from one to the next. Okay. There's a lot about this that I like. Since this is like a cliffy area that's gated off, maybe it'd be fun if we like let you have some fun. You can go on this cliff area for like at least a little bit. Maybe until like the screen somewhere. You could like hop down that way if you're so inclined. Okay, let's zoom out for a sec. Let's take a look at things. This is all like coming together a little bit. On this screen, the cliffs are like a little bit of a focus as you get to the top. Maybe on this screen, it should be like more of a focus, like even bigger. Like, whoa! But how could I get up there? Kind of a moment. Might be cool. It's like really jutting into it. You can't use most of the screen until you like loop around somehow. And then as far as like the critical path of getting to the level Seems like we should have like a little bridge part. Like that. Going across, just a thin one. I don't want it right in the middle. I want you to have to like deal with this body of water. So I could put like a bridge going there. The water goes under it. Could narrow out so you like don't even really need to use the bridge. That might be fun. Center this up. Water can continue down this way. This is like our more foresty area. You know, before I started doing anything, I was like, what could some overworld rooms look like? And I just made like a handful. So like, we could plop this one in somewhere. Just some like basic navigating around. I can fight the enemies if I want to, but I don't really have
I love
to.
that room. That room is fun. It's cool.
Get to test all your enemies in here. Some things to grab if you want. You can take damage, but you don't have to really. It's like pretty breezy. You can approach it in like a lot of different ways. It doesn't really matter.
Wait, where is that room with respect to where you just were?
That's what we gotta figure out now. It seems like I should plop this in somewhere. So how about... Could be here, maybe? This is like the river room. Could be over here. This seems good, because I'm like kind of guiding you up anyways. It could be there, maybe. That seems like a good spot, and this seems like a good spot. Because like this left wall is already being obscured anyways by this like cliff stuff. Let's put it there. I like that one. Put that there. Needs to occupy the same space though, so that will get turned into not trees. This stays open just like it was. And this is like gated right there. Which is actually kind of cool anyways, I think. Because that makes this into more of a choke point. Feels like more of a secret entrance. Which is like kind of what we're going for here. This like tree motif should continue up here.
Those trees are great.
Yeah. I love them. This could crawl around there. This isn't like a lot of room to stand. So maybe it's like kind of chopped up like that. It's more of just like, hey, there's a ledge here if you want it.
If you walked in from the left, you didn't know that room was there. You'd probably just jump down pretty fast because it's just one tile.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
No, you're right, it does matter. Oh,
What
wait.
if you accident?
This is a scrolly. I can't even enter from there anyways. Well, that that problem fixes itself. So yeah, you can't jump there. This is one screen, you just gotta travel vertically. Alright. Let's drag in all the other elements now. And all the blocks. I lost my like alcove over here, I guess. I could get it back though. Let's move the
I think you
cliff.
just punch a hole.
Let's move the cliff to like not be on the screen. And we'll like resolve how that ends on the screen instead, so that this area can like truly be the forest it was destined to be. And then, since this is kind of like narrowing your options more than most of the things in the area, it would make sense that like surrounding it, you have like some nice big like big long staircase to climb or something. You're like, ooh, freedom. Nice. Okay, get me out of there. This tree motif could like really continue this way, actually. This is like the wooded path. Sometimes I'll just put in notes in here like that, just to try and like, you know, I'll name the camera Rex. This doesn't do anything, but like when you're looking at the level, even if it's like not complete yet, you can still like get a feel for like what the intention of the thing is. Okay, won't worry about that quite yet. And then that can be a pit that continues upwards. This could be a pit that continues downwards. Put some more trees around here. This could be more open, I guess. We could let you go in a few different directions from the bottom. Let's see what happens if we do it like that. I'm leaving the hub. Oh, big river. I can't cross it. Oh, if I'm smart, I can go across it, though. Or if I'm down here, I can cross the bridge. And then, got some choices to make. What's down here? Ooh. Some guys to fight. Okay. I can cross into this screen. If I'm, like, up here, I could just let you approach it like that. That seems fine. It could just be open. Why not?
Hey, Regiot wants to ask, what's the weirdest thing you've worked on for a game or like contributed for a game?
The weirdest
Like
thing.
it's probably hard to remember.
King of Cards. that whole game is weird. Maybe the part where the horse grabs you and commits suicide with you, and you wake up in a dream land full of fairies. Maybe that whole thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you become the fairy king.
Gotta become the fairy king.
I love that sound, or sorry, the music that Jake wrote for that. It like sounds like there's no lyrics to it, but it sounds like he's singing like, the phrase "fairy king."
This bridge is like now too close to this cliff, so let's like make our bridge moment happen lower, I guess. Which means this needs to like curve around. I don't know. Should this actually be like you can't get across, or should it be like it's hard to get across, but you can if you're like not afraid? That seems like it might be more fun, honestly. Yeah. So if you're like not comfortable with the mobility yet, you might not do that, but you might. Got any other questions? I gotta look at something else for a sec.
Say again.
Do we got any other questions? I gotta like respond to a message real quick.
Yeah. Joe Dudit was saying, I hope Mina won't have any unfair difficulty spikes or bosses that use mechanics that haven't been properly taught to the player before. Which was interesting to me because I feel like we've been like talking about that a good amount. Like you should, we're intending for you to approach the zones in a specific order. But in case you like decide to go the wrong way, we're trying to think of different ways to like like gate off different areas that might be too difficult, or like just in terms of like skill, or like trying to use systems like the newspaper to try to suggest to you like different ways to go or like what to do next. Anyway, just thinking about that.
Yeah. Have you played our other games? We're not going to do you dirty. It'll be very well balanced and fun and awesome. Don't worry. If there's one thing we're good at, it's that.
Joe Dudit is asking, how does the level editor for Mina compare to the tools you used for Shovel Knight?
It's the same. It's the same program. It's like still just regular old tiled. I deleted all my Shovel Knight stuff. I don't have any of it anymore, so I can't load it up. But yep, just same old tiled. We got some new tools though. Like in Mina, things are technically like 8x8, just like on a Game Boy. But like most of the gameplay is like made of these like big chunky 16x16 blocks. And so like we added a button you can press to like change between the two grids easily.
I didn't know that was unique to Mina, like in terms of editing.
Yep, we added
That's
that
cool.
feature. There's some other new stuff that like helps us out. There's a lot more like tile sets because areas are like more organically linked to one another. So this like list it can get pretty lengthy, which means it can be hard to find the tile you want. So we added like a thing where you can like hold a button to like get that tile on that layer just like instantly wherever the hell it is. That helps a lot.
FP was asking how come the bridge is below the road out of the town, and I think it's because you wanted players to like start to approach the river and then have to like kind of confront it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that idea really works, honestly. Maybe it's like the bridge is it's like blocked off. There's something blocking it. They gotta break from the other side. That might be fun. What could I put there that makes you go around? Some secret dirt.
I mean, could put like a lock, but you could already have a key at that point.
That would be so silly. Unlock
Yeah.
this shortcut
Like at that-
so you don't
yeah,
have to
like at
go
that-
like slightly around.
And ideally at this point you'd also have like, I don't know, 6 keys.
Could just be like a simple like button kind of situation. That might be kind of fun actually.
I think that's the wrong button.
Oh yeah. Like it's like not really taxing the player at all. It's just like, hey, did you know? Like you can open things up from one side or another. It's useful. Have fun.
Red Yacht asks how Key is ensuring that an area has a unique at-a-glance identity versus keeping gameplay regularity. I feel like both are important.
Gameplay variety and theming variety? Was that the question?
Yeah, I think it's like making sure that an area, I don't know, like looks a certain way versus how it plays.
Yeah, you just want good variety for everything. You want like interesting routing. This area is pretty linear. This one's like really open. This one has a fork in the road. You want interesting theming. Whoa, this area is hot. This one's cold. I don't know, whatever. And you want like interesting, actual nitty-gritty gameplay. You gotta have all of them. Let's put some stairs on this bridge to justify it. Looking cool. Looking cool, Joker. I could like keep going up. And since, you know, the crypt area is like pretty man-made anyways, so like maybe it's just these like brick tiles continue all the way over there. Put some more trees up here. It seems like the right half of this is like maybe like the tree zone, you know? This area like needs an identity still. Maybe okay, yeah, let's put this in there. I don't know, guys. This is gonna be pretty silly, I think. Let's hook up the switch. Alright, you ready to begin your adventure? The first thing you see, oh, the bridge is locked! What am I gonna do? You go around, you open it, and now it's open forever. And you can go across. That is too silly. It's too easy. But if you had to go around one screen, then I think this is a good idea. So let's make that what this is. I like that. I like it. Really simple opening moment. It's good though. I feel like this is like too tall or something. Yeah, that looks better.
Joe Dudit asks, besides Castlevania, Zelda, and Bloodborne, what games are influencing Mina's design? And I feel like the answer is like tons of games. Like when we brainstorm ideas for like enemies and objects and features, I feel like the team is constantly referencing like just all kinds of games from like all kinds of genres and consoles. And
I mean, yeah, we love everything. There's definitely a lot
like
of.
I feel like it's hard to narrow down like a set list.
Yeah, but you're right. You're definitely right that those were like the main big three. Do I have that from like the initial pitch doc? Nah, I don't know how to find it. But there's a one of the oldest documents for this game is like a document that says like project like Castle Zeldavania Bloodborne or something. It's like those are like the main beats, just so we're like all on the same page. I like the idea of putting this closer to the side. Like you can walk out onto the bridge, but you can't cross it. And then there's like a more obvious place to go around. And there need to be like other bridges, because the player might be like really stupid at this point. Sorry, that's not the right word. Really, they haven't been trained on all these mechanics yet. They don't know that they can cross the water. They haven't tried yet. So maybe there's like a couple bridges also that you can use, but you don't need to.
We've also been talking about how, like, if you come, like, revisit certain areas with different, like, sidearms or different abilities at that point, like, you could have more options for how to get around obstacles.
Mm-hmm. Now I can't cross. Unless I have, like, something cool. Hope you guys are like noticing that a lot of this is just driven by like what moments or like stories we want the player to feel, and you just work backwards from there. You know, it's like I didn't put a bridge here because like I just wanted to. It's like the first thing you should see is something that's like telling you to like explore and go off the beaten path. So that's like why that's there. You know, this is a little dry though. There's got to be like something you can do to optimize it or like do better. So I'm gonna put like a little platform that you can go on right there. So now there's like a better way to get across. It just makes things a little bit more interesting.
Oh yeah, Red Yacht is suggesting to have like a tunnel type room somewhere, and I feel like we were talking about that too. Like, could you go under the bridge?
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a secret thing under the bridge.
No, totally. I want to do. I think this isn't the right spot for it, but like, I think it'd be real fun to have an area where like you see a tall bridge.
Maybe Elden Ring. Very Bloodborne.
Yeah. And there's like holes, and you can like fall down the bridge and like end up on the area below. But there's also like ropes you can like set down to like make a shortcut to get back up.
Very cleric beast.
Like this is like a structure I think that would be strong that I want to put somewhere. It's like there's like gameplay like happening down below, and maybe you can like cross under here, and then like when you're up here, you don't want to like fall in those holes. You can like let down the ropes so that like next time you're on the under part, you can like climb back up onto like the bridge part. That seems like it'd be cool. But that ain't over here. This needs to be like open. It needs to have the feeling of openness. I think that's important. Okay. Alright. It's looking good.
Joe Duded, I feel like we've kind of touched on this. Joe Duded asks, when designing levels, how do you balance between gameplay mechanics and visual appeal? But I feel like they both should like complement and influence each other.
Yeah, it's less of a balance and more like how can you ensure that both of these things are world class and firing on all cylinders? It's never like a either or. You gotta like try and find ways that all of those things can coalesce in an interesting way and complement one another. I don't think I can like use this tile set to do what I want to do. Maybe like that. No, because that's got to be like that. Whatever. That's Sandy's problem.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, I'm back.
What's up, bro?
What's up?
Maybe there's another little
Well,
platform.
little island.
Could have a little island. I think that might be more fun.
Yeah.
Than...
Why not?
We got 15 minutes left. I'll probably go a little bit over though, as long as I'm on a roll. Got this scary ravine area. This should like kick your butt more. Need some like difficult enemies.
I feel like it needs a skulker.
He'd be good, but I wanna keep him closer to the crypt over here. I think shock sniper would be cool. Can I not make these? Ugh, excuse me. How do I make them face down? Don't they got a prop? They ain't got that?
I don't know.
Because these guys you can face, right? Down. Oh, no, I guess not. They just sit there facing right. Can I rotate them? Does that do it? Are they going to be like screwed up now?
Yep, it looks like that was right.
That looks so wrong in the tool. Yeah, it works though. Let's like pit this up a little bit to make it like do
Oh
that.
god, I haven't looked at this guy forever.
Okay. Let's keep using these for everything to break stuff up. Just so the idea is represented, let's like put the rope there that you'll unlock later. Shoo! Now you can get back up there. And I guess this could actually be hooked up. Oh no, I don't have that part yet. Actually, I do, because that can go there now.
Red Yacht asks, are you going to have puzzles in areas that aren't dungeon/challenge type areas?
Depends what you mean by puzzle, because I think that
Yeah.
word can mean a lot of different things. You're not gonna get to like a push block puzzle where there's like no enemies on the screen, just like a million blocks, and you gotta push them in the right order, or else you have to reset the room. That's like a Zelda puzzle, right? That kind of thing will not be in this game, because I feel like in Zelda, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make two games. There's the part where you have to think, and then there's the part where you have to fight. And they don't mix. They don't interact with one another. They're just like two games that you're playing. You like fight some Stalfos in a room, and then you're like, okay, now I did that. Anyways, time to like look for the eyeball switch to shoot with my arrow or whatever, right? And in this game, it'll all just be like more organically integrated together, right? So like, I don't know. Here's a good example. Like when I'm like going in this zone, I need to like figure out how to open this thing right here. This way to Queensberry Crypt, resting place of the Duchess and her royal family. Notice grave robbing is strictly off limits. Out of respect for the royal family, this area is closed off for the time being. Bon voyage, looters. So I need to like hit that button to like open the gate, right? And you're like, oh, if I could like jump from up there, I could get there. How do I get up there? Well, what happens when I go in this one? Ooh, I'm like inside somewhere. Okay. And then, oh, I see. Okay, so I need to like figure out how to get into that door. And let me like jump down.
Looter.
Let me jump down here. Let's see. Maybe I go in. Oh, I'll go in this one. Okay. Oh, now I can get up here. Wait, and then I can go to that other door. Oh. And yeah, okay. Yeah, now I jump down and I open the door. So is that a puzzle? Like, kinda, yeah. You're doing like a little puzzling, but it's not like stopping the game and being like, hey, Mina, I have a riddle for you, you know, that kind of thing. I'm still like navigating, exploring a space, fighting the monsters that are in my way, you know, like... I'd say just in general, like everything is more tightly and intertwined.
It's like more of a spatial puzzle than like an object puzzle.
Yeah. But most of the difficulty in the game will come from like the same systems rather than like totally separate and disparate ones, if that makes any sense. We want you to be like practicing your platforming and your like secret finding abilities and your combat proficiency. And so if we're going to design a puzzle, I think it should like utilize those elements rather than making up new ones entirely, arbitrarily. Like when you get to the island of the Yetis and it's like, there's 5 of us. One of us always lies. One of us always lies if you say yes, but says the truth if you say no. Like I don't see a point to like doing that kind of thing. And that's...
Does Zelda even have that?
That's in Spirit Tracks when you go to the Frozen Zone. Yep.
Oh yeah.
You gotta walk around, talk to 5 guys in the right order. Like
you have to do Sphinx riddles.
Right. Like I just like don't see value in like what that brings to the game. If we were gonna make a game about riddles, we'd make a game about riddles. This is a game like about other things. Okay. I wanna like hone in on another area now and like get it looking better. How about this like forest? This was like looking pretty good. So this is a screen of like many trees, and you're like kind of locked in here. And the trees will like curve around, and there'll be a couple spots where you can enter and exit this little forest we've got. That sounds good. So let's like continue this idea over here. Perhaps this is another opportunity for a long room right here. And this could be limited where you could drop down. So there to there. So this is the halfway, so this would all have to be blocked off. And this would all have to be blocked off. That seems fine. This could be like a long zone. This doesn't really have a reason to exist, though. It'd be good if you could like go up here. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's all fine. Okay, let's lower that a little bit. Put it like there. Let you freely walk between these areas. Then this can connect up there. And this is like a cool river mouth screen. This would be a good spot to do, like, go underneath a waterfall, actually. Maybe that's what, like, this, maybe that's what this should be. I feel like a lot of those obvious moments, they need to, like, they need to come in pretty quickly at the start. So it could be like that kind of thing. You can, like, go behind there. Gotta have one of those. Everyone's gonna complain if we don't. And that's kind of neat, because when you're here, you're like, ooh, what's this inlet? And it puts you in like a slight bit of a dead end, which hopefully will ignite your curiosity, make you try to figure out what you do here. It's like a little narrow, though. Maybe we could get one more tile of space. And that means that this should probably extend like that into the screen, so it's not annoying to navigate. Which means this tree stuff needs to... These ideas are like really button up against one another in a bad way.
As you go south, that's toward Bone Beach, right? Like I was wondering if the tree zone should be further to the north, like as you're getting closer to the train yard instead. Like I wonder if you could move that room up.
All
If it
this
would make more
stuff?
sense up there. Yeah. If it just moved up by like 4 camera rects, like above the path.
Yeah, but like this gameplay is like dense, and I want like the denser gameplay down towards like the harder area, and the more open gameplay towards the easier one. I think there's room to like theme it. It can be like a beachy forest, like the trees like start dying, and it like slowly starts getting sand-like as you like travel over here. Could work. Let's continue making our like outcropping up here though. Get that in there. Hope y'all are finding this part of the process interesting. This is like kind of a new part to showcase. Usually we're way more focused in like the beat to beat, moment to moment gameplay stuff. But sometimes you gotta paint big wide strokes with your brush before you start dialing stuff in. This should be like you dig under it or something, so it's like semi-secret. Do we have a fence for that? Let's use this. Be up there. One more tile space there. It's looking pretty cool. I feel the need to like center this up. It's speaking to me. It's what it wants to be. And this can be like a little small lagoon. It's cool. Simple little prized burrow 4 over there. Maybe this is actually centered up like we want it to be. And that way the trees can like still be over here. And then there's just still collision there to keep you locked in. Maybe a little more room for that there, so it can still open up the way that we liked earlier, like that. And this can still block you in like that. But with trees instead.
Which water tiles are you using, by the way?
Oh.
Beach? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. That one?
That looks like that one. Should I be using these?
That's
should be blue.
okay. Well, if you're using the green ones, actually use the green ones.
Okay.
Because that was made more recently as an agnostic tile set that we can repalette. And it also has a few extra pieces.
Cool.
There's a waterfall piece that has a bright color along the top edge that is meant for little waterfalls like you're doing now, so you can better discern where the
I like that.
collision is. Yeah, that's the top one. Yeah, exactly.
Man, like that.
Yeah. You got it.
You're so smart, Sandy. And then we'll just block this part off with the tree. Boom. So natural. That's cool. I feel like maybe I don't need that much space for it. There we go.
Very cool. Whoa, look at that.
It's gotta be like in the middle.
It's such a nice bridge.
Probably gonna have a character standing on there.
Should put a cleric beast on the other side.
I'll never be able
Cleric
to cross
beast.
this bridge.
Cleric beast.
Cleric beast.
Cross over here. And now
Bridget
the
loves
bridge
cleric
is
beast.
open forever.
I just love that bridge vibe that I feel like we keep revisiting.
Yeah. Well, look at that. Way
Whoa.
cooler.
That all hooks up. It's one tile too many. Damn it.
Dumb camera.
Dumb camera. It's gotta be
Hate
like
that.
there. Okay, maybe I do need that space then. Maybe I'll just use these to like block it off. Maybe that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Some rocks. How about it?
There you go.
How about just some rocks?
They rock.
Put a couple there.
Wow.
Wow. And this could maybe like we could do. I want to put a few of those little like, oh, but there's a tiny screen transition there. It's like it's kind of neat when you can exist in like such an awkwardly small space. So maybe it's blocked like that. I don't want to do that too many times, but like maybe once or twice might be fun. Little like point of interest. Minor point of interest. Ooh, there's like one flower over there. Let me go get it. And then you just like go around on a tiny adventure. Got it. No, that doesn't really work though. Going down.
Got it. No, that doesn't work. Classic.
That's how it do be like that sometimes.
Hey, Alec, it's hit 2 o'clock. How you feeling about timeline? At some point, I got to get lunch and I have to hit the button.
Oh yeah, I suppose we should be wrapping this up pretty soon.
It's so much fun. No one needs to eat. Come on.
I need to eat. Don't lie.
Oh. Cleric beast.
No lying. Cleric beast. Wait. Something about lunch. Something about cleric beast.
Hey,
Find a pun.
hey Eli, are you in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you want to like think of some gameplay for like some of these areas?
Sure. You mean right now or like after the stream?
No, just like in general. Maybe like I could like sort this out like a little bit more and then just kind of be like, all right, well this is like our foresty zone, so like make like a little bit of a through line of like some fun gameplay that could like go through here or like whatever.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. If you want to like once you've chopped that up, then just like tell me what rooms you want me to look at, and I can come up with some gameplay for them.
Okay, sounds cool. Maybe it's like we start with like some seeds of some ideas, like okay, let's put that room there, and like this could be a cool room over here, and then it's like we fill in the gaps. I guess we're doing like shock troopers. Maybe they're like patrolling the forest, so like maybe there should be some shock troopers here and here, and we'll like kind of work backwards and fill it all in bit by bit.
Sounds good to me.
Well, hey, this is looking more like a real thing.
Cleric beast.
The bridge so doesn't look like that. Y'all are crazy. And then this river, it needs to like get out of here, you know? Eventually it's like, all right, buddy, like that's that's enough of you. Because like
so condescending toward the player. All right, buddy.
no, that's I'm talking to the river.
Oh, okay.
Because like the reason we put this here is so that it can be a useful thing for navigation, so that you know like where you are based on the position of the river. But if the river's too long, then that's not useful anymore. So it needs to like stop eventually, and that's
Gotta flow back into the ocean.
Yeah, eventually, doesn't it become Bone Beach?
Yeah, but let's have it go through like a cliff, or it needs to like go under a mountain and then like resume elsewhere. It can't be like continuous, I think, all the way there. Because like by placing this here, we're also signing up for some like moment to moment room gameplay that has to incorporate the fact that there's a pit down the middle of it. And we can do that for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms or so, but not 20. So why don't we do this? Make this a wall you can go underneath. Everyone loves doing that. Do we have, is this water? This tile?
Yeah. Oh no, that is.
I need flat water. Do we got that?
What is flat water?
Like just this color under there, but it still like works as a ripple.
I mean, you can put that for now.
it has nothing on it though. You're gonna like fall through the.
Yeah,
cliff.
I think that was that's intended for placing under like plants and stuff.
I'm gonna make it a water.
But yeah, that's
tile and
fine.
see what
It should actually have that collision.
I'm gonna make it a water tile and see what happens.
Yeah. Looks like an oversight.
And then we'll give you a cute little burrow zone you can enter there. And then when we're making the Bone Beach overworld, I'm sure that this cliff will like be over here, and you can get up there, and then you can jump back into the river. Whatever. We'll try and tie it all together in interesting ways. But before you can move all the bits around, you gotta throw some paint on the wall and see what sticks.
What if one of the burrow under zone tiles was actually a mouth?
It's like a chompy mouth.
Yeah, it's like an open, chompy mouth, and you're like, ooh, I can go under there. And you go in, and you're like inside this creature's mouth.
Whoa. Waterfall 2 _ 0A 0B 0B 0A. This one is the down one. This is the up one. And we'll put you in a little cave. Real tiny one. And then I just need a black pit. Is that this? No.
Yeah, Bone Beach is looking so cool. Can't wait for everyone to see it.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Put that there. Put some garbage in here. There you go. So now our delightful little river comes to a head here. Whoops. These are flipped. But if you go under here, whoosh, look at that. You can be under the little mountain. And then you can't get back out. Whoops.
And then you get stuck, and then you die.
Alright, we'll fix that part. And it's got, I guess you have to be in like water here, or else it doesn't make any sense. Should we like show it here? Should we give it to you? Could be like that. Like
I
it's
don't know
shallow
what's
there.
being given.
Like
Confused.
Like it's shallow here. And it's like, yeah, it's obvious.
Oh.
Is that lame? Is that cool?
I feel like it'd be cool for like some of the overworld subcons to be like a bit more obvious.
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking a lot about like, this is like basically the first time we let you loose, so it should be more like reinforcing basics than it is like testing you on anything more complicated. No, it's a secret. Come on, can't a secret be a secret? Just a little bit. Just a little bit sometimes. Cool. Then we got a long room here. That needs to line up with that. Alright. Well, hey, I kind of like this layout. What do you all think? Does this look like a Zelda overworld, kinda?
Yeah, it's cool to see like the more open areas versus something like the other zones we've been working on that feel like way more compact. I feel like the open zones definitely feel like more Zelda to me.
Yeah.
Looking great.
Looking good, looking good. Alright, let's test out the experience of going to your first level.
Are there any enemies?
Not yet. We'll plop down some of these cool new ones.
Oh my god, who's this?
If you wanna use BBAT, I think there's a update that fixes a bug with them.
Let's see.
These guys were all brand new for this week.
Yeah, so part of making this
Exclusive.
Overworld was we realized, like, wait, we don't really, like, have any easy enemies. All of them are, like, you know, they got a challenger, twister point. So, lately we've been designing, like, what could our, like, simple guys be? This is no longer level design, really. Going on a tangent here, but
Still fun.
Oh, I don't think that Dragonfly does anything.
oh yeah, it won't. But if we go to our enemy document here, it was like, okay, what kind of like really simple stuff do we need? Something that like mills about like a Moblin or an Octorok, some guy that like just goes forward and back on one axis. We need like something like that. We need a guy that like spits a fireball at you. We need a guy that like you can't burrow under. Just like the real simple basics, you know. A little dragonfly that hovers above the ground and just kind of like mills about. Things that can provide like secondary flavor, but but don't always need to be the focus of a room. And then B-Bat, who's a bee and a bat, and he slams into the ground. So Sandy just finished the art for all these guys this week. And
Yeah, it was like 5 enemies.
And Bridget and Eli are programming these enemies like like right now, right?
Yeah, I just finished the current pass on BBAT.
I got them. File updated. Let's take a look.
That's alive.
I got to
The
do more
gremlin's
with.
alive.
Yeah, I got to do more with my guys, but they're in. Yeah,
They're
like
in.
Ian's feedback was like, this seems like a good level 2 single axis walker. And I was like, what? How did that happen? I have to like make it, I have to like roll it back and make it
Make him
dumber.
dumber.
I have to make it even dumber. How?
I mean, he's just a ball of fur with with a single eye. I'm sure it's not that smart.
I'm not
but
even
like
gonna-
I didn't think
a
it was
tribble.
I didn't think it was that smart either, but apparently it's level 2.
It's genius. It
I've
was
never
AP.
made a level 2 on accident. Whoa, what is this B-Bat? Somebody, Shadowhog posted a B-Bat in chat. Love it.
Whoa,
Oh,
what?
yeah, it's a B-Bat.
My original idea. No.
No. Don't worry, ours is a little bit cuter because it's fluffier.
11 out of 10 B-Bat.
Bridget, do I rotate or flip to get?
Yeah, you can rotate him.
Can I flip him?
I wouldn't flip him. I would rotate him.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what happens if you flip him. I was having a nightmare about that the other moment.
And then
I gotta double check.
have a little area where there's a B-Bat on a bridge, and there's a guy on the other side of the bridge. Maybe. I'm not thinking too much about the enemies, but let's just like put some guys down and see how it feels, you know.
You gotta put BBAT in like a river room so you can like lure him to go into the water.
He's one right here. I'll put some like floating above here. So as you like cross over, they might be getting in your way.
You put a B-Bat right next to a chest, so you're like stopped to open the chest, and it hovers above you.
Sure, whatever. There.
Oh yeah,
We'll put one magic in there.
worth it.
All right, let's see how it goes. Let's. Okay, here it is. We're playing the game. I just opened it up. I did the intro level, and now I'm off to explore. I can go left or right. Let me like go to the left. Oh, it seems like these areas are really not thought out at all, even a little bit. Guess the level. Guess the level designer didn't get to that part. I'm gonna go to the right instead. All right, here I am. Oh, the music comes in. Ooh, it's so open. Where should I go? Who's that guy?
Whoa. Weird baldy.
Got him. Got him. Some easy enemies.
So
Bunch of chumps.
unbelievably boring.
Oh, this guy's like guarding the bridge. Oh, he's gonna
Whoa,
get
how
me.
exciting.
Got him. Gotcha.
Oh, I like how he like struggles even harder at the end.
Ooh. Gotta be careful going here.
Well, they're so fast.
Got him. Where should I go? There's so many options. I'm a little overwhelmed. I'll go this way. No, I won't. I don't want to go that way. We didn't work on that way. Maybe I'll go up. Oh, some more of these bat guys. Get away from me. Get away from me. Okay, more of these guys. These guys are too slow. Speed them up.
Yeah, they're early on.
That's
They're an incremental submit.
ooh.
What is this, a delta?
No, not yet.
Here, I'll do your little trick, Eli. There you go.
Got him.
Got him.
Yeah.
Let's see what's up here. Oh, scary enemies. Let's even test it out. Let's put the player at level tier 1. Now, oh, all my stats are only level 1. I like just started the game. Whoa, these guys take like a quarter of my health. Oh god, I'm almost dead. Whoa, this area is like really hard. Maybe I should come back later. Whoa, was that
Whoa,
a
they have
was that a
so much
freaking
health.
laser? Oh my god, I just died. Wow. I really gotta I don't know about that. Maybe I'll go a different way. Okay. What happens if I go up? Okay, some more of these guys. Oh, they're like they're milling in the grass. Okay, that's neat. Okay, how do I cross? Ooh, that's maybe how I do it. Oh,
Not the bridge.
And it's that bridge from earlier. Okay. Oh, I opened it up. This goes back over to the left, right? Like where I came from? Okay, yeah. Cool. Let's keep on moving forward. There's gotta be like sidearms around here. I guess we need like a lot of candles, just like a normal level, even if it's one
How
of
do you
these
get that
open ones.
chest?
How do I get that chest? I don't know. Alright, well, what's this say? I can't read it yet. But it says it's this way to the crypt. Oh, I was told that that's like one of the areas I gotta go to. Maybe I'll go to that one first. Okay, let's see what's in here. Whoops. I don't know why it does that. There's a
It's
bug
getting
about
weird.
that. Let's not worry about that.
It's a puzzle.
Oh, I'm in some kind of like graveyard now. That's cool. Whoa, what the heck? Ah, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Seems like things are heating up a little bit, but like they're not too crazy quite yet. What's
Whoa,
this?
what are those?
What are those things? Oh, jeez, I don't know. Oh god, oh jeez, more of these guys. Wait a second. What's over here?
Recognize those trees?
It's that chest from earlier. Oh, I hope B-Bat doesn't like come up here and get me. Come on, buddy, do it. Ah, he doesn't want to.
Flying backwards.
I guess that's
I
probably.
don't know why the facing direction.
I
doesn't
was
work.
flipping him around. That's why.
Oh yeah, no, it does not work with flipping.
It's gotta work with flipping.
And they'll just face whatever direction they're moving in.
Flipping why?
I gotta fix those guys. Alec, you're just showing all the stuff I gotta fix.
Whoa. Things are
Look at
really
those
heating up
vines.
in this graveyard area. Things are still like pretty open-ended. There's so much exploring I can do in Mina the Hollower. Whoa, I found a cave. What's in here? Oh, jeez.
What
Anyways.
the?
Let me go this way.
Who was that?
Oh, I made a worm. Oh gosh, I got a jump rope and kill him. Oh gosh, oh jeez. Nice. Oh, those two chests. How do I get them though? Another prize there. Ooh, the buckler shield. Get out of here. Get out of my way. Well, I guess there's nothing in there. Oh gosh, get out, get out, get out. These bone birds are easier. I'm gonna do this area first, because it's easier than that train yard, frozen, snowy area. Okay. It's down here.
Okay, Alec.
Oh,
Alec,
shop.
you get like 2 more minutes. I gotta hit the button soon to have a cleric feast.
Oh, what's up here? Ooh, this is a nice little graveyard. This must be like the graveyard zone. I wonder if this leads to like a crypt level full of tombstones and dead people.
Such an insightful player.
Let me go down one of these holes. How about this hole? Oh, that's how you get up there. Oh, I get it. Ooh, I got a prize. Oh, but now I gotta jump down onto the spikes. Better time it. Ugh. Ugh. Phew. I didn't get hit.
Your feigned relief.
This is what players are gonna think when they play it. I already showed this off, so I'm just gonna open it. Alright, I opened it up. Whoa. Where are we now?
Cleric beast time, come on!
Cleric beast.
Seems...
Nope.
Whoops.
Oh, what
Whoops. Oh, now I'm here! Whoa. This must be like the start of like one of the levels. And like, what do you know it is? All right, and then you do all this, and you go up here, and then you do this, and you go in here, and then you go down there, and then you go over here, and then you go over here.
I've never seen crypt
And then
before.
you go up here, and then you go up there, and then you go to the second floor, and then you go down there, and then you go up here, and you solve that, and you go over here, and you do that, and then you go all the way up here, and then you fight a boss, and then you go up here, tuk, 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 and then you end up right here. Oh, here I am. This is how I get down to this area, and this is that cave, and oh, now I'm back in here, and this leads back to this area. Wow, I did it. I beat a whole zone. Time to go to the next one. Here I go. Going down to the Bone Beach. Seamless. Here I am. Wow. And then this goes to this level. Wow, it's all coming together a little bit. All of our different zones and all of our stuff is just starting to get tied together, starting to make a real whole island with all sorts of stuff.
11 out of 10.
I still got plenty work to do, but seems like this is our stopping point for today. Hope everyone had fun. I'm sure we'll be streaming again real soon. Any last questions before we go? Any comments? Anything else?
Looking good.
Job. Good job. Looks great. Be back.
Here, Alec, when you're ready, I gotta hit the button before you hit the button. But I'll give it a second. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We're on Twitch.
Everyone.
We're on Twitch. We're on Twitter. We're on Kickstarter. We're on the YouTube. We're on Discord.
We're on Be Real. Add my Be Real, guys. Let's get real.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Do a backflip.
Until next time.
Till next time.
All right, I'm gonna hit the button. Bye.
All right, y'all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye.
Okay, I hit the button.